Well, hi there, everybody. Good morning to meteorologist Travis Kleneski here on this Tuesday morning, the calm before the storm, but still some weather to talk about today. It's going to be very warm still across northern Kansas and southeast Nebraska, upper 70s and lower 80s. Winds will be breezy today and low relative humidity, so red flag warnings are in place. We could see relative humidity drop below 20% in these locations later today. So there's going to be that elevated fire threat. Starts either late this morning at 11 a.m. or this afternoon at 1 p.m. and it continues through somewhere between 7 and 10 o'clock, depending on which county you're in, basically, but goes through this evening, basically, as there will be that high fire danger out there. So let's quickly go through today's forecast. We've had a cold front that's basically pushed through most of the area, and it's going to kind of almost stall out over southern parts of the area today. Not too many clouds around. It should be mostly sunny, maybe a few extra clouds later today off to the northwest. All right. I'm going to take you through the evening hours, at least here, as the rain gets going out west, quickly changing to snow as that temperature drops. We may start to see rain and isolated thunderstorms mid to late evening here, including maybe a little strong thunderstorm activity. We'll go through 1 a.m. here, and we'll have to watch for maybe isolated severe weather, that rain changing to snow, maybe a brief period of sleet. And look at the winds now. Winds are starting to blow strong out of the north and northwest as the system really gets going. I'll come back to the future cast in just a bit. We've got a high wind warning in place. Really, even though some of these places it doesn't even start till tomorrow afternoon, well, that's because the blizzard warnings and the winter weather advisories actually start earlier than that, and it will end at 2 p.m. Basically, look at all of this as a 1 a.m. Wednesday, so that's just after midnight, 1 a.m. Wednesday to 7 p.m. Wednesday evening time frame, where wind gusts could be 55 to 65 miles per hour. Those alone are enough to cause problems and possibly create power outages and do damage. I mentioned the rain and isolated thunderstorms on the front side of the system. There is that's the wrong graphic. Let me get the right one. I knew I would make a mistake in there and show the wrong one. Let's get you the right one. That's today's severe weather outlook. This will be about 10 p.m. to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So this is the middle of the night. A chance of a little large hail over eastern portions of Nebraska. All right, let's show you we're going to go back into the future cast here. I'm going to jump the time frame to 1 a.m. There we are right there. We have that rain changing to snow. Tri-Cities, it's going to be after midnight. North Platte, if you're watching out there, you're probably changing over around 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., somewhere in there, to snow, and blowing snow will then become a concern. Tri-Cities area, 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. is when the changeover happens, and this is as the winds are continuing to strengthen. There could be thunder snow in here, which would increase those snowfall rates. Still rain to the east and isolated thunderstorms, but strong winds. The strongest winds will actually come around and after sunrise tomorrow. Look at the red on those arrows now. This is when some of your strongest winds are going to come, is during the morning hours tomorrow, combined with when that snow is at its heaviest. So again, whiteout conditions will be possible here across a large part of the area tomorrow morning. Schools are going to be closed all over the place. Roads could be closed. I think I-80 is probably going to close. I would not be surprised if I-80 is closed from North Platte all the way to at least Lincoln tomorrow, for a time anyway. Let's take you through the morning hours now through about 10 a.m. Snow wraps up out west. Still ongoing through maybe about as late as noon in the Tri-Cities area. Snow's just starting up out east, North Lincoln area. Look at this. This is 7 a.m. there. This will be when the changeover goes to snow there. And it will be blowing snow. Look at the winds blowing that snow around. This continues through the early afternoon, wrapping up in the Tri-Cities, continues in eastern Nebraska through the end of the afternoon. Winds will quickly drop off and skies will clear up. The other thing I'll mention late tomorrow afternoon, some sun is going to come out, especially out west, and that's going to start to melt off some of that snow, actually. Then we'll get a refreeze as it gets colder tomorrow night into Thursday morning. So there could be some slick conditions with icy conditions with that refreeze out there. All right. Let's go ahead and go into the alerts here. We have the overnight was changed over to a blizzard warning for a lot of the area. Now, winter storm warnings out west. Right in here, this is all the same time frame. Starts at 1 a.m., continues until 2 p.m. Winter weather advisories, near blizzard conditions, possible whiteout conditions at times. Right in here in the pink. Blizzard conditions more likely in the blizzard warning area. It will actually start at 7 a.m. in eastern Nebraska. It continues until 10 p.m. Wednesday. Winter weather advisory, the snow may not be quite as intense here. Winter weather advisory 10 a.m. tomorrow through 10 p.m. tomorrow in the southeast part of the state. Potential snowfall totals, and I will tell you right now that forecast models are all over the place. I'm using a low-end model. Right now my thinking is a widespread 2 to 6 inches of snowfall. Again, notice the lower amounts in the southeast and way up here to the north, but 2 to 6 inches for most of us. There are some models that hint at as much as 6 to 10 inches in some spots, though. So while, again, this could be 2 to 4, 6, because I think there's going to be some snow melt initially with the warm ground, and some melt tomorrow as it starts to get back above freezing. But overall, 2 to 6 pretty common. But there are probably going to be some places that maybe pick up 7, 8 inches, maybe as much as 10 in some spots, and it's most likely in this swath right in here where that could happen. So again, this is a tough forecast with snowfall amounts. One is blowing around like crazy. That makes it almost impossible to measure. Plus, there will be some snow melting ongoing. Highs today, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even low 80s, a wide range in highs tonight, down into the 20s and 30s for lows. Tomorrow, 30s and 40s. Notice out west with some sun coming out, we're going to melt off some snow as it warms back up above freezing. So there will be some melting, especially where that sun comes out. Tomorrow night, though, the refreeze because of the cold temperatures down into the upper teens and lower 20s for most of us into Thursday morning. Thursday, though, we warm up into the 50s and low 60s, probably coldest where there's still some snow on the ground, but it's going to rapidly melt with this mid to late March sun angle. 30s for lows, so much milder Thursday night into Friday morning. And then Friday highs, 50s and low 60s again, mid to upper 50s, low 60s. We do have a chance of rain, and the system will bring some strong winds on Friday as well. Looking at that extended forecast, I didn't put a lot into the long range part of the forecast because I'm so focused on the next 36 hours. But it's a very quick system. Most of us will only be impacted for 6 to 9 hours. But when it hits, it will hit hard. Where travel is not advised. I do not recommend travel if you don't have to be out tomorrow morning in the Tri-Cities area. 3 a.m. to noon tomorrow is kind of our prime time. Probably squash that into more of a 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. time frame is the worst of the conditions. Beyond that, again, there are going to be some windy days, but it does get milder. A few chances of rain here and there down the road. We continue to see that incline in temperatures in the long ranges. We'll be on the mild side, so really tomorrow is the outlier, but it's not lasting long. North Platte, your time frames moved up a little bit more compared to the Tri-Cities. Rain this evening, changing to snow around or shortly before midnight. Snow will mostly fall before 8 a.m. tomorrow, blowing snow near blizzard conditions, but then maybe some sun getting you back up into the 40s tomorrow afternoon. The winds will die down tomorrow night. We dip to 18, back up into the 50s and 60s for the rest of the forecast. A few chances of light rain and some days that are going to be quite windy out there. But again, you will see that incline in temperatures in the long range part of the forecast. And in fact, the Climate Prediction Center echoes that with very warm temperatures on the way for the end of the month of March, and we're probably not going to see a ton of precipitation during that time frame. We're looking at near to, I even think we could be below average precipitation-wise in the long term. Well, I want to thank you all for watching on this Tuesday morning. Luke Prokosh, he'll be in for me tomorrow morning with all of the latest. I will be out in Storm Chaser 4, chasing the snow as long as conditions allow me to do so. I will be out tomorrow morning during the show from 5 to 7 a.m., and then I'll do a Facebook Live while on the road tomorrow if I can be out and about tomorrow after 7 a.m. So, but if you don't have to be out, I do not recommend being out. Conditions are going to be dangerous. We're going to see a lot of school closings and probably some road closures as well. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if almost every school in the Local 4 viewing area is closed tomorrow. If not all of them, the vast majority of them will be closed tomorrow. All right. With that, I'm off the rest of this week other than maybe being out in the Chaser tomorrow. So I won't be back doing this again until Monday morning. So you hope you have a great rest of the week. Stay safe out there tonight and tomorrow morning and during the day tomorrow. And I will see you again next Monday when we'll be in the spring season. Take care and God bless. Bye.